What's up, friends? Welcome to Web3 Academy, a place for entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers to explore and learn how to use Web3 to transform business models and create thriving communities. Enjoy this next episode.
GM, what's up, Web3 doers? Welcome to Web3 Academy. It is the weekly roll-up. Wow, we got a packed week today. I am Jay Hamilton, your co-host, coming at you from Whistler, Canada. As always, joined by my buddy, my co-founder, my co-host, Kyle Reedhead. What's up, Kai?
That is I'm Kyle. Friends, I'm excited to be here today. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about. There's a lot happening in Web3, but there's also a lot happening in Web3 Academy. So we're going to share some of that too.
There is big things going down in Web3 Academy. Building is happening. 'Tis the season to build. In winter, we build. Well,
summer. It's like the hardest summer. If you're in Europe, it's like 40 degrees right now. That's Celsius. Americans, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's damn hot.
I mean, in the crypto winter, in the bear market.
See, I forget about that. It's a crypto winter. You know, I don't look at prices. Kidding. I look at prices every day, multiple times a day. This podcast is not supposed to be about prices. It's about utility. So I'm going to tell you I don't look at prices, but I'm not that cool.
All right. So what we got up today, we've got a whole bunch of news coming out. We got some news from Snapchat, news from a couple other
Disney
blockchains, Disney. We got a little bit of legal news coming out as always, news from some people leaving Web 2 and moving over to Web 3, some big names as continues to happen. We got some news from a bunch of NFT news from GameStop, CocaCola, Puma, Tomorrowland.
Basically every big brand in the world.
Yeah.
What crypto winter are you talking about, bro? What do you mean?
We got some news about music NFTs. We're going to be chatting about the ones and twos, some blockchain news, and then wrapping up with some community news about Web3 Academy and our NFT of the month. Holy geez. We going to get through all this today, Kai?
We're going to find out.
Before we
start, learn today.
let's take a minute. Before we learn, let's take a minute to share some gratitude. I'll go first today, Kai. I'll go first. I'll jump in.
Your first time.
Yeah, usually I let you go first. I am grateful for Sam, my fiance's dad, and more specifically, I'm grateful for one-on-one time with family members, in particular parents. As our parents get older, Sam's dad turned 70 this year, and he rode his Harley. He lives about a 14-hour drive away from us, and he rode his Harley here 2 days ago, which was hilarious because he rode in and he's a very kind, gentle man, but when he dresses up on his Harley, he's in like full leather with a like skull mask over his face. He looks terrifying. And he rode over here to spend a few days with us, which is pretty nice. Usually when I see Sam's parents, it's both his mom and his dad, her mom and her dad, but just having one-on-one time with their dad has been really special. And he painted the railing on our deck. So that's extra gratitude for a little bit of work.
Big things.
Gord, thanks. Shout out Gord.
Gord is the man.
I was trying to explain DAOs to him yesterday and he had no idea what I was talking about.
Actually, okay. Now I changed my gratitude. I'm grateful for... I am grateful for my buddy, Brad. He just got a new job, by the way, in sales. And so change of career, change of direction, and excited. It's a nice company. He's super excited. So Brad, if you're listening, the only reason I'm saying this is I just pilled him on Web3 and I sat him down. We were having some drinks to celebrate his job. And I said, do you know what Web3 is yet? And he's like, I have no idea. I just heard that you're doing something with it. And I go, okay. I was like, clear your schedule. We're going to talk. And I was like, I'm going to try to explain this to you in the simplest way as possible. And so I just sat him down and I went for it, and he picked it up in like a couple like minutes. I was like, oh shit, I think I figured out the way to do it. So anyway, I'm going to write an article about this on how you can explain Web3 to your parents. Not that he's my parent, he's my age as well, but I'm just trying to figure out the best way, because people keep asking. I'm like, oh, you got 20 minutes so I can explain this to you. So anyway, that's my gratitude. Go Brad.
That's the narrative and the story that everybody's looking for. So, hey, Kai, if you can write that article, I will be grateful, as will many people.
The key is you don't use the words decentralization or blockchain or any of these buzzwords that everyone tries to use. You don't use any of that. But anyway, look for this article. It'll come out, I don't know, a couple weeks. It's all up here.
All right. What's the Web3 word of the week, Kyle?
My favorite word so right now this week is strangers. And I say strangers because we are building a company with internet strangers. And it's my favorite sentence that we've probably ever said. For those of you listening, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a DAO. Our community has formed a DAO around Web3 Academy. So we now have something being formed, and we are not going to do a full-on explanation of this yet, but we do have an announcement coming in the next, probably in the next week, maybe two. But Web3 Academy DAO is forming and spinning out of our community. And holy shit, things are crazy right now in the Discord. There's just guilds being built, and there's just everyone's kind of organizing, and we've got all these ideas. There's already products being built. It's insane. I'm not going to get into any more details than that. All I'm going to say is literally what it feels like is happening is we're building a company from scratch with a bunch of internet strangers, and it is freaking awesome. It is so much fun. There's so much shit getting done. It's incredible to watch. There's a meeting in our Discord right now as we're recording this that Jay and I are not even in. So like there's literally meetings happening, and Jay and I were the ones that started Web3 Academy, and these meetings about the future of this business and where this is all going. There's meetings happening right now. We're not even there. So it's super cool. All I want to say is one more thing on this. If you ever wanted to learn about starting a DAO, what DAOs are all about, it's a little hectic in there right now as we kind of organize and get structured, but it is really cool to be in there and watch. But specifically, if you are one of these three people, we would love for you to join in and get involved as we sort of like figure out our roles and figure out the departments and stuff. One is if you have experience in DAOs, organizing and structure, whether that's like using Notion or using certain tools, or like, I don't know, any way that we can, someone that's like the glue between. We have a few people doing an incredible job here on that right now, but if you have some experience, we'd love to have you in there. So jump into our Discord. The link is in the show notes below. The other two things we need right now is social media people. There's a guild forming right now for that. So if you like to do social media, jump in. There's some spots for you. The other thing is a grants person. We've got a couple tools being built. There's a whole developer guild. The first thing that was started in this was a developers guild. There's a bunch of devs in there. So kudos to Ian, by the way, who's the one that's really leading that and just like pioneering that. So Ian, you're a legend. If you're a dev, probably go in there too. He's great to learn from, and he's just doing a really cool job. But they're already building some stuff. But I think there's an opportunity for grants. And so if you're a grant person, come on in. We'll get you all caught up to speed, and we would love to start getting some grants for the DAO.
Get in there. There's definitely, I'm just smiling ear to ear right now. It is, the energy is real. Things are happening. It's amazing what happens when you bring together great people and a mission of building the future of digital ownership and the future of the web. It's a powerful place to be. Yeah. Don't miss out.
And a big shout out to everyone that's in there. Just real quick, Jay, before you do that, and a big shout out to everyone that's in there. We already said Ian. I mean, Tim has been leading things up. Tim Jeffries, rather Mercurial is just a legend. Knows every single tool you could think of in Web3. Lynn, who's been just helping kind of glue everything together. Wanzi, like all you guys, Patrick. I'm not going to name everyone, but I just want to say a quick thank you and shout out to you guys. For kind of like getting all this started and getting things rolling. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. So if you do not listen to the end of this podcast, where we're going to talk a little bit more about this, make sure you jump into our Discord if you're not already there, if you want to be part of the ground floor of a DAO, because let's be clear, the DAO is not officially launched yet. We are in the process of launching it. We're in the process of building out the governance, writing our charter, writing our mission and our vision, about to launch the token, hopefully launching the token in the next week or so. So there's a lot happening.
Whoa,
but
you said the token word already? You're not supposed to say that yet.
there is a lot of exciting things happening, and you can get in on the ground floor if you get in now. Let's get into the news. Let's get into the news.
Okay, big start. We've talked about Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. We talked about, I think, last week, Twitter, all integrating and using NFTs. And who do we have next? Oh, and TikTok has done it too. And basically the last one of them all, I feel like, Snapchat. So Snap is adding NFTs as AR, artificial, what is AR? Artificial
augmented reality.
Augmented reality, that's it. Filters in Snapchat. So basically they haven't announced, I think this is like a leak, so we don't even know. So we don't know like where it's going to be. My guess is Polygon, because everything is on Polygon at the moment. But basically you're going to be able to wear the glasses or whatever, the Snap, whatever they call them. And you're going to be able to see NFTs in certain locations and things using filters. So that'll be kind of cool and kick ass, and just another step in the right direction in terms of Web2 introducing digital collectibles. We'll see what they call it, or we'll see how they do it, but it's about all we have. We don't have any more like tons of information on it. We just know it's coming.
The other thing I find interesting about this is, from what I'm gathering, and again, this is a leak, so we don't have a ton of information, is that it doesn't appear that Snapchat is trying to make a revenue play here. So Meta, Facebook, Instagram, they're all making revenue plays with their current Web3 strategies, right? Whereas what Snapchat is doing is, I believe what they're trying to do is, they see that NFTs, particularly PFPs, are super popular and everybody wants to use them as filters. So why not allow, like, where I think this is going to go is basically you could use Snapchat and you could connect your wallet, and then I could use my Moonbird as a filter on my face, right? And cover my face, and now I'm my Moonbird, right? And that's huge, like a huge unlock. I think people would love that, right? And so I could see Snapchat more so approaching this from the perspective of gaining more users and just being a big part of playing in Web3, as opposed to it being a play into like a marketplace or some sort of revenue stream.
I am my Moonbird, and my Moonbird is me.
That's right. That's right.
Do you tweet that with your Moonbird? Polygon, man. Go for it, Jay.
I was going to say, both of us. Polygon. How many times have we said Polygon in the last week? Polygon has been chosen to be part of Disney's Accelerator program. Huge news that Polygon is basically, I mean, we just see Polygon everywhere in every part of Web3 and the Web2 ecosystem for that matter. Kai, I know you were reading up a little bit on this Disney Accelerator program. Who else is in this?
Yeah, so there's 6 companies that are in this, and it's for the whole year, right? So it's just, they do one of these per year, and it's based on like different themes and things. So in this one, Disney's Accelerator class is focused on building the future of immersive experiences and specialized in technologies such as augmented reality, non-fungible tokens, and artificial intelligence. So there's 6 companies. Here's the crazy thing. Polygon is one of them. 3 of these 6 companies are Web3 companies. Half of them, 50%. I was like, what? So there's FlickPlay. FlickPlay is a Web3 social app that enables users to discover NFTs tied to real world locations that can experience and share via AR. Okay. Then there's Lockverse. Lockverse is a Web3 platform that empowers creators and brands to tell culture defining stories and deliver unique access and experiences. And then there's Polygon. Polygon is a scalable blockchain network that allows developers and enterprises to build Web3 experiences. So 3 of the 6 are Web3. Holy shit, we're in the right industry, Jay.
Yeah. Well, and look at the 3 there. They work so well together. So you've got a blockchain, then you've got an AR play, and then you've got a storytelling, culture building, community building company. Like those, and they're making a movie where you can take that movie into AR and, have NFTs out in the real world. Like, Yeah, insane stuff happening. Shout out to Disney Accelerator. I've never even heard of that program. Maybe someday
I don't
they'll
think
accept
anyone in
Web3
Web3
Academy.
has. Yeah, I don't think anyone in Web3 has, but all of a sudden when there's Web3 involved, everyone's like, oh yeah, the Disney Accelerator program, so great. It's like, what is this?
3AC, 3 Arrow Capital, which is being liquidated, as I'm sure all of us know, as a result of their bankruptcy proceedings. As part of their liquidation, their NFT collection is being liquidated. And if you haven't had a chance to take a look at their NFT collection, holy shit, it is legit.
Yeah, but what's funny is all of these were bought by Celsius, Voyager, you know what I mean? Like all these companies that are going bankrupt, they lent their money to 3AC to go and do things with it. And they're like, all right, I'll buy a CryptoPunk and a Fidenza. And I don't know, what are these other ones, Jay? There's so many.
Well, we got a lot of generative art in here. We got ringers, archetypes, fidenzas, autoglyphs. And these are like, there's what, let's see, there's probably 20 NFTs in here that are worth over 100 ETH. One of the NFTs last sold for 1,800 ETH, a ringer. You got a CryptoPunk that last sold for 810 ETH.
Well, what's funny is, by the way, that last sold means that's what they bought it for. So they bought that thing for 1,800 ETH, and they bought that last year when things were actually like high in price. So they spent millions on that. I think there's like 40 something CryptoPunks in here. There's Mutant Ape Yacht Clubs. There's Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. There is like, look at these CryptoPunks. Holy geez, what else?
It's mostly generative art, though. That's what's so interesting to me. It's a lot of generative art.
Yeah. So I don't know what this is going to do. Is it's going to tank the price of this stuff? Like if this was Bitcoin or ETH and they had to liquidate it, it would tank the price. Does that happen with NFTs? I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm not. It's a good question. That's what I was wondering, and I've seen a bunch of people talking about. When is this going to be liquidated? And so everybody's watching because it could possibly tank the price of some of these, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's definitely, there's a lot of reputable names in here and things that I would definitely try to get my hands on. They got a squiggle in here.
Cool cats, squiggles. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I mean, looks like they did a good job of picking, but they just couldn't manage their risk. Oh man. They were worth like billions just like a couple months ago, and now they are worth zero. Well, they're worth whatever those NFTs are worth, I guess. Another big play of fintech coming in. So, I mean, this isn't DeFi mullet, actually. I thought it was for a second, but basically what's happening is Revolut, which I know nothing about Revolut because I'm Canadian and I don't think we even have that here. It's more, I think, in the Euro world. But it's similar to like a TransferWise. It's just it's fintech to move your money around. And what they've done is they've put in some like lessons on crypto basics inside of their application, and you can earn DOT tokens. So the token for Polkadot, the layer 1 blockchain smart contract platform. And when you pass the quizzes of these lessons, you earn DOT tokens, and you can earn up to $15, I believe, per lesson. So that's really cool. I think it's just education for a lot of, I guess, younger users that I would assume who are using Revolut. Yeah, that's great to see fintech platforms just educating. And I mean, obviously this is some sort of partnership, probably a paid partnership by Polkadot, but cool though.
Yeah. Amazing to see fintech adopting crypto, and it's been happening for a while now. But I think also the education side is so important. So shout out to everybody who's doing this. I know like Coinbase has been doing this for a long time, where you can, take lessons in order to earn various coins through learning. Fantastic.
Revolut's big. Like, I don't know how many people they have. I'll try to find it. We can go here. I will look for that though. How many users they have, but it's a lot, So that's cool. Okay. So check this out. Carlo.eth or Carlo some sort of emoji.eth. Tweets out Solana is getting sued, or a class action lawsuit was filed against Solana, and I believe it's from the SEC, but basically calling the Sol token a security. Now there's a bunch of these that are happening in the space. Uniswap, I don't know if they had like an actual lawsuit, but they were getting looked into. Ripple obviously is going through this right now. They have been for a while now. there's been others, I think Binance as well. So it basically is going to the Solana Foundation. Can you go up to the top there real quick? Solana Foundation, Anatoly, which is the founder, and then some of the VCs too, which is Multicoin, and yeah, some others. So pretty crazy, but the lawsuit alleges that Sol's IOC was marketed to retail investors as an unregistered security, and defendants took the vast sum of money made on that IOC and spent it promoting Sol securities through the United States. So, I mean, this stuff happens. I think we got to go through these battles and win them. So all the best to Anatoly and the crew at Solana. Hopefully we can win this one. I don't really know the details of their IOC. I was not part of that or seen that, but I do know, like, I scrolled down, was looking at some of the comments, and I think it's like, I don't know, more than 50% or whatever of these tokens are owned by the original like founders and investors. I think it's like, I don't know, 70 or something like that. So like, I don't know, it's not ideal token situation versus some others, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sure they'll be fine. I hope.
Yeah, let's hope so. Good luck to everybody in Solana community on this one. But like you said, we got to get through this. Regulation is coming, but until then, people in America are going to throw around lawsuits because that's what they do best.
Yeah. So this is really cool. So this was a nice thread that I'm just going to read real quick. So simple case for why Web3 could be an important new business model in games. And so here's what he wrote. So open economic platforms that foster an ecosystem of businesses are larger and more durable than closed ones. So where value is primarily created and owned by a single party. Think free market countries like the US versus centrally planned ones like the USSR or Cuba, right? So in tech, there are a lot of examples of open or partially open platforms. The biggest companies in tech have been powered by creating these platforms: Amazon Marketplace, Google and Apple's mobile app stores, Facebook's original platform. Most big games right now are closed economies though, right? So like Fortnite, League of Legends are only allow users to buy digital skins, characters, and items from the company's store. There's not like an actual open marketplace like eBay and Amazon Marketplace and all these other ones. So users are not able to freely transact with each other in the game's digital currency or in digital assets. The one exception to this is Roblox, which allows users to develop games in its metaverse and earn money from other players who engage with them. And Roblox is worth $20 billion. So by making games open economic platforms, games can be much larger and more durable. Players will be more invested in their digital in-game assets, knowing that it is real. Third-party companies can build on top of these games assets to access their player bases. So yeah, that's super cool. We won't go farther into it, but then he just kind of talks about, you know, how blockchain is incorporated in this, how you don't necessarily need blockchain, but you do if you want ownership. So yeah, just the idea that these sort of like open, open marketplaces are so key to like foster innovation and to get people involved and to distribute the earnings or the revenue or the value widely rather than just to one company, like we're seeing with most games right now. And so, I mean, we talk about games all the time on here, not that we are experts on games by any means, but these new Web3 games that kind of foster this open concept with true ownership to everyone, whether you're the builder in there or you're a player or whatever, it's going to be incredible. And we're getting close. I feel like a year away, not even, and we're going to have some sick games out there.
Yeah, I saw Ryan Watt, who's the head of gaming at Polygon. I feel like we're a broken record here.
Ex-head of gaming at YouTube.
Ex-head of gaming at YouTube, yeah. And I saw him speak at NFT NYC, and the line that he said that really stuck with me was that ownership increases engagement in a game substantially. 100%. And it's true, right? Like, you know, I think that up until now, gaming is based upon fun. Right? It's fun and community. Those are the two things that gaming has really accelerated on. But now we're adding this ownership layer, and he believes, as do many, that by adding ownership, we're going to see an explosion of games when those good games start to come out.
Well, this is true. That's a great line, but this is true of everything, not just games. Like even just think about our community. Right? Before we decided that, hey, we're going to give ownership of this community and the things that we build in this community to everyone via token, like no one was really doing, I mean, we just was this community, we were chatting and stuff. All of a sudden we said, okay, you guys get ownership of community. And there's just like, boom, spinning out dev guilds and this guild and this guild and this thing. And we're going to build this product. And it's like, whoa, right? So you talk about the power of digital, of just ownership in general, like there it is. Which by the way, I just realized I'm wearing a banker t-shirt and I'm holding a banker pen as we talk. This is not a sponsorship or like, I don't recommend banker. This is just a free t-shirt I got at.
You just swagged out from permissionless.
I'm pretty sure banker like did some shady things lately and like shut down something. So I don't want to say that I'm packing right now and all my shit is packed. I'm going to Portugal. And so like, this is just the only shirt I had available. So I just want
if you want sponsorship on the Web3 Academy podcast, just send some free swag to Kyle.
Give me a t-shirt. I'll wear
He really likes snapback hats.
Yeah. Snapback hats and free t-shirts. My
favorite. A quick hitter for you. JP Morgan lost 3 executives to crypto firms last week. 3 executives from JP Morgan, a leading TradeFi company, switched over in the bear market. When everyone's saying crypto is done, 3 of their leading executives moved over to 3 different crypto firms. The most notable one,
Polygon?
I had it written. No, it wasn't. No, it's mostly 2 of them moved to, one moved to like a Web3 VC, one moved to Algorand Foundation, which I believe is blockchain. Yeah. And then one moved to Digital Currency Group, which is the parent company of CoinDesk, and also the parent company of Grayscale, right? Yeah. So there's, everybody's talking about, crypto going away, Web3 is going away, and there's movement happening in that direction and hiring happening in that direction. We haven't talked a ton about Web3 jobs recently in this bear market, but there is still a ton of people hiring and a lot of opportunity at all levels. You don't have to be a JP Morgan executive to move into Web3.
Oof, inflation. Who saw the numbers that came out last week or yesterday or whatever it was in the US, so in the US, 9.1, I think it's the highest it's been in like 40 years or whatever. Crazy. You have like France, 8.6. What we have here is a tweet pulled up with a bunch of different countries and their inflation rates. I just want to highlight, like, we're all worried about this 9.1, in the US, and I don't know what Canada is, but probably right around the same. Like, you scroll down here, it's like Argentina, 60.7% inflation rate. That's monthly. Turkey, 78.6. Venezuela, 167. One of our team members at Impact Digital Marketing, she's in Turkey right now. And her friend, she was just telling us the story. Her friend was looking to buy I think it was a dress or something. And it was like, whatever, $47 or whatever it was. I don't know. And this is last week. And she held off. She held off for like 4 or 5 days and went back to buy it. And it was like $7 cheaper. $7 in terms of like US dollar in 4 days. So she saved $7 by just waiting 4 days. Cause I was like, so wait, you just walk into the grocery store and like every day the prices are different. So like we are scared of this 9.1. It's a whole nother world in a lot of countries out there. And so, Bitcoin, crypto, like an obvious fix, obvious. How we are in a bear market, I can't just quite comprehend. Speaking, so our boy Raul, who's just a tweeting genius over here, he tweets out yesterday. This is one of my favorite tweets of the day or the week, maybe. Web3 just became Web 3.69 due to inflation. Well done, Raul. Well done.
Oh. And the euro hit $1 before Dogecoin did.
So, if you're not sure what that means, euro is now in line with the US dollar, which is pretty crazy. And I don't know what Dogecoin's at these days. Let's check. Dogecoin's got to be like,
Dogecoin's got to be pretty low. All right, let's shift gears from news and highlights to NFT utility and innovation. Lots going on. 6 cents.
6 cents. Oh my gosh. It was at, what is this here? I can't even see. 70 cents. Is it 70? Did it make 80? 70 cents in May of 2021. So about a year ago, it was at 70 cents. It's down to 6 cents.
Oof.
Yeah, oof. Okay, so Immutable. I'm sorry, but we keep talking about Immutable. But this was really cool. So we're in the NFT section right now. I think we're not even on like the
Yeah.
ones and twos. But they just did something really cool. So we talked maybe about a month ago, and we talked about how ApeCoin was looking to move their token or their coin off of Ethereum mainnet, right? And they were exploring, do we do a different blockchain? Do we do a layer 2, whatever? And it was sort of there was proposals put out by Immutable X. There was a proposal put out by Avalanche. They didn't decide on either yet, but what they did do is have a proposal of should we stay on the Ethereum ecosystem, and they did vote to stay on the Ethereum ecosystem. And so what Immutable has done, which is really cool here, and this is really just to show off the scalability of their platform, I think, and just the great UX that they have just launched 100,000 free NFTs for Ape holders. So they teamed up with Colex GG, no idea who that is, but to celebrate ApeCoin DAO for staying on Ethereum. So the Ape community will experience the power of Immutable X via gas-free minting and trading when they claim their free NFT at apes on l2.com. So basically anyone with an ApeCoin can go there and they can mint whatever the NFT is. I don't really know. They just announced this, and they get it for free, and they don't even have to pay gas fees because that's how Immutable rolls. There is no gas fees. Yet you have the security of Ethereum. So you have the best security you can possibly get, and it's free. What the hell? Crazy.
This domain name apesonl2.com is great domain. Genius. News out of GameStop.
Yeah, GameStop launched this week, I think it was. I don't know which date it was exactly, but yeah, sometime this week anyway. The GameStop NFT marketplace, and which is actually on Immutable, just so everyone's aware. And it surpassed Coinbase's NFT lifetime volume in less than 48 hours. I don't know what's going on over Coinbase's NFT marketplace. I don't know why it's so terrible and just not getting any use. GameStop, though, is like they just have so many devs and things building on there already. They have games, they have like kind of all this stuff going on already. So
I think as well that the part of the, to talk about Coinbase for a second, I don't think that there's not a lot of energy in Coinbase's ecosystem of their users for NFTs. I don't believe yet, right? There's a lot of negative sentiment towards NFTs. We're actually going to talk about this later in the show. And so I wouldn't be surprised if, Coinbase user base, they're not looking for NFTs, right? Whereas GameStop appeals to an audience of degens and an audience of crypto natives and Web3 natives. So I think that it's a different user base.
It's also, they appeal to a certain niche, which is games, right? So it's all gaming NFTs, right? Which gaming NFTs have tons of volume. So that's really their focus. Whereas like, you're right, Coinbase, that's not their audience, but also they didn't really do anything different than OpenSea. There is no reason to go from OpenSea over to Coinbase. It's the exact same thing with the exact same blockchains. And it's not there's no niche. So it's like, you just go to Coinbase to trade your CryptoPunks or whatever, but I don't need to do that. I already have OpenSea, I already have LooksRare. Whereas GameStop is like a focused, specific, gas-free, on Immutable, and it's specific for games. There's already a bunch of games being built on there. Same with like Magic Eden, right? Which is the other one that's doing quite well, but that's specific to Solana, which again is doing whatever the heck Solana's doing. So it's like they can differentiate themselves from OpenSea, whereas Coinbase.
But let's be clear there, though. I'm still very bullish on Coinbase NFT marketplace long term, because if Coinbase continues to be a leader in the space, particularly on the wallet side, and they can be, once we get to, in 10 years, if we're at 1 billion wallets and Coinbase has a big market share of that, then the Coinbase ecosystem will thrive, including their NFT marketplace.
Couldn't agree more. I bought some Coinbase stock the other day.
There you
Put my
go.
money where my mouth is, Jay.
I did not buy Coinbase stock, but I do own some Coinbase stock, so I'm already down about 80% on that investment.
That is not financial advice.
I mean,
if you want to take financial advice from us, if you want to take it from us, go for it. But I wouldn't if I were you.
I definitely wouldn't. CocaCola drops a pride-inspired digital collectible benefiting LGBTQIA+ charities. Awesome to see. So this is in celebration of Pride. Coca-Cola dropped 136 NFTs, I believe. A couple of things to note here. One, I think this is a really great lesson in how any current business should be thinking about NFTs. I think a lot of businesses are very afraid of NFTs, but this is a great lesson in it. So first thing Coca-Cola did was they partnered with a reputable fashion designer, an artist, to create cool art. Really big part of NFTs right now, particularly the NFTs that have blown up, is art, right? So make great art. Second is they only released 136. They're not releasing 10,000 collection of NFTs. Keep it small, right? 136. Why did they release 136? Because Coca-Cola is 136 years old. So, you're connecting it back to your brand, you're celebrating your origins and your roots. And then also they gave all the money to charity, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they didn't make it about making profit. They made it about charity, and about, in this case, is about pride. And this has basically been Coca-Cola's strategy since they first got into the NFT space. Back in 2021 on International Friendship Day, they released, I think it was like only 5 NFTs or something like that. And essentially this is what they've done. Every time there's some large international celebration day, they release a small NFT collection to celebrate the day, and is a way to engage consumers. But here's what's really cool about it. Coca-Cola now has NFTs in the hands of their fans and their customers. So maybe they do nothing with that, but if they ever wanted to, wow, think about that unlock. They could do so much through utility to these NFT holders in the future. And they're not saying they're going to, and I'm not saying they're going to. This is not utility advice, but perhaps one day they do. So if I was a company, if I was a brand, whether even just a small company, this is exactly how I would be thinking about using NFTs.
And it's just great. It's just more exposure to Web3. It's a good news, right? It's great news. It's getting out to a specific community. And it's like, that's what these brands keep doing, is they keep hitting their, these specific communities, whether that's their fans or something else, like what they did here with LGBTQIA. And so it's like, you keep hitting these communities, you teach them about Web3, they get to learn how to use NFTs or what they are, and you get to donate and do something good for the community. And so really, really cool. I don't know if you just saw that, but Coca-Cola is 136 years old company.
Yeah.
That's why they did the 136 NFTs, but holy damn, 136.
It's an old company.
Crazy.
Then another big brand, Puma, jumped into NFTs. This happened a few weeks ago, but basically Puma made a partnership with 10KTF, which is a metaverse NFT marketplace. Really cool website, really cool engaging story. The creators of 10KTF basically created this tailor called Wagmi-san, who's like a fictional tailor in New Tokyo, which is this metaverse that they're building. And basically Puma jumped in and made this partnership with them. But here's what's so interesting on the fashion side, and we've seen Adidas doing this and Nike doing this, is there's so much utility from the perspective of digital and physical goods coming together. And we've talked lots about this, but I think this is what we're going to see a lot over the next few years, is fashion companies offering digital goods and then later offering a physical good because you own that digital good, or doing the opposite, offering a physical good, a limited release drop, and then along with that, you also get a digital good. So there's just really cool things happening in the fashion world around NFTs that I'm very excited about.
I know nothing about the fashion or the luxury world. Nothing at all.
But one of our community members is building in the NFT space around the luxury world. Shout out to Patrick,
for watches.
Building for watches. So yeah, lots happening there. Switching over to music, tons happening in music and NFTs. It's tough to keep track of this space. Tomorrowland and Magic Eden have partnered for dropping festival NFTs at Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland, for you, those of you who don't know, is I believe it's the largest festival in the world. I think that they have 600,000 tickets that they sell for Tomorrowland. Wow. 600,000. Huge festival. Now, it is sold out, this year's Tomorrowland, which I would assume is happening relatively soon. But dropping this NFT collection is their way of offering utility to fans. And when you think about music and NFTs, not only is there huge potential for music and NFTs in terms of the digital side, but let's talk about the IRL side. You're talking about access, right? Huge potential for access. I mean, this is what happened at NFT NYC, right? If you, basically it's token gating. If you own an NFT, you get access to meet an artist, you get access to backstage, you get access to a VIP area, you get access to, you know, all these different IRL experiences that you can provide access to because of ownership and token gating an NFT.
Wait until the tickets themselves are NFTs, right?
Oh.
Like that's going to just onboard so many people. And like, I don't know if it'll be bigger than gaming, but it's easier than gaming. It can be done already. And I think it's very soon it's going to happen. And like once Ticketmaster and whatever, whoever else there just launches StubHub or whatever, they launch tickets through NFTs. Everyone will have.
The CEO of Ticketmaster spoke at NFT NYC.
Whoa,
It was pretty, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty dull. He didn't really seem to know what he was talking about, but he was there and they are thinking about it and they're trying to figure it out. So he's learning, they're there. And I mean, I think to me, the other thing that I keep realizing is the word NFT is not a word that a lot of people are going to know. A lot of people, what's going to happen in the next 5 years is everyone's going to own an NFT without knowing that they own NFTs, right? That's what's going to happen with ticketing. That's going to happen with gaming, because you don't necessarily, I mean, even Facebook is calling it digital collectibles on their platform, right? So you don't even need it to be this like buying NFTs to trade and sell NFTs. It's just using the technology to create digital ownership. One more shout out for music NFTs. Billboard, which is the largest music ranking company in the world. So they produce the Billboard 100, where they track the top music. They have started tracking music NFTs. So every month now, Billboard releases a music NFT report of the top NFTs in music. And so for June, I've got the June report up here. It was a little bit of a slower month for NFTs, only about 1,000 ETH in trade volume across primary and secondary markets, which isn't huge, but still a lot happening in music NFTs. And right now it's just, you know, a lot of buying these music NFTs to own them and collect them. But again, I come back to the utility. You think about what these artists could do with the utility from the fact that you perhaps maybe were one of the first to buy one of their NFTs. Maybe they're earlier in their career. Another thing I got to shout out here is, and we won't get too deep into this today, but maybe we should talk about this at some point in the future, is these meta stars or virtual stars. So one of the number 10 NFT on Billboard's top 10 is Angel Baby, who is a fully virtual artist that only exists in the metaverse. Angel Baby performs as a fluff world avatar. And their debut track, The Other Side, is written along with a Grammy award-winning songwriter and producer, Gino Ghost. This is a rabbit hole that I don't know if you've gone down yet, Kai, this meta star rabbit hole.
I have not, but I'm just looking. It says a collection of 10,000 rabbit NFTs built around a community of creatives and musicians. So is it like the community that's building this music together? And they no?
I don't know. Good question. I think that this artist is just using the PFP as their avatar.
Gotcha.
But what I've seen, I've gone in on this rabbit hole a little bit. What I've seen is, because there's a lot about digital concerts, right? That is, you know, especially during COVID, there was a lot of people trying to do digital concerts. What The Weeknd did a metaverse conference.
I saw Deadmau5 in
Deadmau5
Sandbox or Decentraland I went to.
Yeah, so there's
there too.
Yeah, a bunch of top artists did them. But what's so interesting is now, because of the anonymity of Web3 and crypto, you have these artists that are choosing to be fully virtual artists. And I think this is amazing for one very simple reason. We attach a lot of vanity to celebrities and music performers, right? In order to get on stage and perform, you got to be good looking, unfortunately, in the way that we have created our culture to praise looks. So now
Snoop Dogg is not good looking, I don't think.
Well, now what
You
you
just
can
see him on this
have
list.
is, and Post Malone is also not great looking, but now what you can have though is you remove that because you can have a fully digital avatar who can perform music and never show who they are in the real world, but just enable them to perform without that feeling of, oh, this is me and I'm presenting myself as
Right.
my looks. It's more their skills and their artistry and their songs. And I think that's a really powerful thing for artists.
You can also do more than one concert at one time because you don't need an actual human there. You can like
100%.
you could do like thousands of concerts in a year instead of whatever.
And you can have people attend your concerts that wouldn't be able to because they live in some part of the world that you're not touring.
Right. CryptoPunks are back. One just sold. I don't know, but one just sold for 2.6 million, so 2,500 ETH. That's cool. It's been a while, probably since we had a big sale in the NFT world. 2.6 million is pretty good. I think they were selling for a lot more than that back in the early days. Here's a fun one. So we got another partnership with Sandbox, the metaverse platform. Playboy has partnered with Sandbox to build a meta mansion and bring NFTs into the metaverse. There's like an intro video here, and there's basically like a mansion that you can walk around, and there's a bunch of NFT avatar Playboy bunnies that look hilarious and terrible. They just look like these weird blocks, but they have bunny ears on them. It's pretty funny, but I'm sure that the graphics will get improved there one day. But just another big brand, I guess, coming in.
Yeah, exactly. Big brands jumping in, getting into the space.
Ooh, Lens Protocol announcements. Exciting for this one. Another one on Polygon, obviously, because we know Lens Protocol is built on Polygon. But check this out. We've talked about Lenster, right? We've all used, well, I don't know about all of us, but we've used Lenster, which is kind of like the Facebook of Web3 at the moment. And we've shared some stuff on that. I think we talked maybe it was last week or a couple weeks ago about Orb, which is like the LinkedIn version of Web3, which is built on top of Lens Protocol. And now we have LensTube, which is an open source Web3 video sharing social media platform built on top of Lens Protocol. And it's live, and you can go in and you can use it. And there's zero gas fees, as Lens Protocol does. And I mean, we've had a lot of problems with YouTube shutting down, groups like Bankless and many crypto platforms. Thankfully, most of them, I wouldn't say all of them, but most of them get their platform turned back on. But it's about time we have a decentralized way to do this. And that's thanks to LensTube.
Yeah. And there's so many use cases for this when you think about YouTube, right? There's what you just mentioned of getting deplatformed. The obvious use case also is the ownership of your content, right? When you post a video on LensTube, and if you go look, I was looking through it today, the current content it's just in beta. So the current content is pretty funny. It's all over the place and very random. They definitely don't have the content creators at the level and scale that YouTube has, but you
YouTube
own your
didn't
content.
when it first started.
Exactly. Yeah. But the big thing here is it's ownership, right? When you post a video on LensTube, what happens is that video automatically becomes an NFT in your wallet, which you own. And that is all done for you. So if you actually wanted to go make an NFT video, you could just go post a video on YouTube and boom, LensTube. And now you have an NFT. And then what you could do, I don't know if they have a marketplace yet, but I would assume, you could. Then you could go resell it because it would already be in your wallet and it would be in your OpenSea profile.
Put in any marketplace,
and then you could go sell it. So, big unlock here.
We are working on putting together a panel of the different apps that are being built on top of Lens Protocol. We've already spoken to a few of the founders and just need a couple more. Brad or Bradley from Lens Protocol, if you are listening, check your Telegram. I know you're crazy busy at ECC in Paris. But we got a group chat going. We're trying to set up this panel. We need you, buddy. We want to get you involved. So Brad, if you're listening to the show, which I know you are an avid listener, check your Telegram.
That was the best. I don't know if that's like ultimate trolling or what that is, but calling somebody out for not checking their messages on our podcast.
He's a busy guy. They're also doing some really cool launches. They're so busy at Lens, but we
Well,
appreciate you, Brad.
let's actually shout them out quick. Let's while we're on this, let's shout them out because they just did a drop with Pussy Riot, which is an organization, I think out of Russia originally, a Web3 decentralized, I think it's a DAO, I'm pretty sure Pussy Riot, I don't know a ton about the details, but basically it's a DAO that promotes equality at all levels. And with the recent announcement out of America coming down from the Supreme Court, making abortion illegal in certain states, what Lens wanted to do was they wanted to help people have access to healthy, safe abortions. So they partnered with Pussy Riot and raised over $100,000 in just like 24 or 48 hours through a drop that they did on Lens Protocol.
Yeah, it was a drop on Lens, and in 48 hours, they raised $70,000 for Splendid Reproductive Justice Orgs via the Collect module. But they were looking to, I think, get break 100K, which I think they did. So kudos to the Lens team and the Pussy Riot team and everyone else involved. Guys are killing it. It is time for the ones and twos. Let's go over to the ones and twos.
The ones and twos.
Arbitrum, a layer 2 optimistic rollup on Ethereum, is no longer just a layer 2 optimistic rollup on Ethereum. They now have 2 rollups on Ethereum. So they have just introduced Arbitrary Nova, which is a new chain built on any trust technology that optimizes for ultra low cost transactions with strong security guarantees. And the mainnet is now live for devs to start building on. And then they soon, I think it's in the next couple of weeks, they will be live for the end users as well. Basically what this is like, why would they spin up another layer 2? Like, what's the purpose of that? So layer 2s are still very early, right? There's a bunch of different technologies here. We have optimistic rollups. That's Optimism and Arbitrum 1 is what it's called. So we have those, which is soon going to be Arbitrum Nitro, which will be launching in a couple weeks. We have those, which is optimistic rollup. Then we have ZK rollups, which we sort of talked about a little bit. We have a podcast coming up so that you can all learn more about ZK rollups. That's zero knowledge proofs. That's another layer 2 scaling technology that plugs into Ethereum. And now we have any trust technology, which is just another type of technology that anyone can build on top of. And Arbitrum is the first one to launch this. Basically, you know what? Let's go to the next one, and then I'm going to explain what the difference is here. But so Arbitrary Nova is meant for games and NFTs. So it's going to be ultra low cost. So very, very cheap. And then you have Arbitrum Nitro, I believe it is called, which is meant for sort of your general purpose, DeFi and like, you know, kind of high profile NFTs, things like that. It's more meant for DeFi. And then you have the ultra low cost one for gaming. And so there's some trade-offs there. And so I just want to break down, we've talked a bit about modular blockchains. So you have modular and you have monolithic. Monolithic is when you try to have one blockchain do everything, right? We've learned over the last 6 years or so that just doesn't work when you want to put smart contracts and run a full ecosystem like DeFi and gaming, et cetera. And so because we have the trilemma, the scalability trilemma. And so the idea of a modular blockchain is start to split those things up. So you have an execution layer, you have a settlement layer, and you have a data availability layer. Those are kind of the 3 components of a blockchain. And so when you put them all into one blockchain, that's when you have very high gas fees, right? Like what Ethereum is. Ethereum standalone by itself is that. And it's very slow and very expensive if you try to maintain its decentralization. You have other things like Binance Smart Chain, et cetera, which says, screw the decentralization. We'll just do it all in one, but it'll be cheap. It's just not secure. Then you have something like Solana, who's trying to accomplish it all. And what we've seen with Ethereum, this sort of module away, and there's others, Cosmos is doing this, Near, et cetera. But basically you have these 3 layers. And so in the image that we're showing here on the screen, you have the execution layer. And so that's where you could think of like Optimism and Arbitrum and Starknet and all the things where we're saying like get on L2s, and that's where you're going to actually use. The execution layer is where the apps are built, and that's where like the users will actually interact with. Okay. Then you have underneath that the settlement layer, or the consensus layer, you can call it, which is like, this is where the actual value is transacted and happens. This is where you need the like decentralization. That's where the settlement occurs. And so that's your like Ethereum L1. There are others like Cosmos, etc. Then you have the data availability layer, which I'm not going to get into too much technical components of this, but basically you can think of it as like the storage layer of everything. So if you ever want to go back and verify, this is sort of like the layer that you need. And so this is another layer that's getting sort of pulled out of the kind of blockchain modular protocol stuff here. And so now they're separating it into three different layers. And so that's the difference here of this Arbitrary Nova, is they basically have built their own sort of like data layer that allows for things to be faster and much cheaper than what Arbitrum does, which it just relies on the data availability layer of Arbitrum and Ethereum itself. So it's sort of taking like a third component. You also might have heard of like Celestia or Polygon Avail, which is basically trying to build their own layer that basically layer twos can plug into, and then that plugs into, let's say, Ethereum or Cosmos or whatever. So we're sort of extracting all the different layers and moving them out. That's what's happening here with Arbitrum, and it's going to make it, I don't know how much cheaper it is, but it's like 10x cheaper than even what Arbitrum Nitro is, which is crazy. So really cool experiment there, and we'll see how that goes. But just wanted to make sure people understand, like, you're going to start hearing all these other words of different sort of blockchain things like Polygon Avail, whatever. They're trying to extract and pull out different layers, and that just overall it just helps with scalability. But in the end, users won't care about any of this. You won't even have to know about any of it, but builders may, depending on what you're building.
So if you were confused by blockchains to date, well, you're just fucked in the future, because there's no way you're going to get it. No, I'm kidding. If you want to learn more about this stuff, two suggestions quickly. One, follow our community member, dinoeggs.eth on Twitter. Really great writer and leader in blockchain education, and has fantastic tweets and fantastic writing, really explaining this in great, easy to read terms. Highly recommend following him. And two, join our developer guild in our Web3 Academy Discord, where there is builders talking about using all of these blockchains on the regular every day, and experimenting and sharing what each of these is used for and why they're important. And also we've got some exciting things that might come out of Web3 Academy.
I thought you were going to share the rabbit hole course there. If you want a foundational explanation of the stuff that I just talked about,
we got too much stuff.
Check out the rabbit hole course. It's free. And you can check that out. And there's a whole module on this stuff that's going to explain it in very simple terms and actionable terms for you as maybe a user or a developer or a builder, whatever, a creator. So check that out. It's in the show notes below, but it's free. It'd take you, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through, and you get to mint an NFT on Polygon for your proof of completion. There's a bunch of people that have already done it, and go check it out. It's cool.
Didn't we see that a senior vice president from MasterCard took the
senior
I think it's
director?
course?
I don't know if it's vice president, but there's some people. There's some legit people that are trying to learn Web3, and so we love to see it. And we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, very helpful. Definitely highly recommend.
And if you do take it, make sure you jump in our Discord. Just let us know and give us some feedback. Share your NFT on Twitter if you'd like. One more thing on the ones and twos. Starknet. Again, this is your ZK Rollups. They are the builders of ZK Rollups. They are launching a token in September. So it's probably, they haven't really said the details yet, but anyone who has used Starknet, if you've ever bridged, which I've been telling people to bridge for many, many months since we started this podcast, over to Optimism, to Arbitrum, to Starknet, etc. If you've used Argent Wallet, which we've talked about, you will be eligible for this airdrop whenever, I'm assuming, I don't know that for sure, but I'm assuming anyone who's used Starknet up to whatever date, probably the date of this announcement, then you can get yourself some tokens.
Fair assumption.
We like airdrops.
We do like airdrops.
All right. What's this? You want to take this final take, or you want me to? We got a couple takes here.
Yeah, we got a couple takes. You go for it.
Okay. So this was from Degentraland. He just tweets out, I had a good laugh at this one. Rihanna is America's youngest self-made female billionaire, and Chris Brown couldn't sell out an NFT project. So they used to date back in the day, and they had some issues. I think Chris Brown hit Rihanna or something. Anyway, the guy can't even sell an NFT project anymore. The guy used to be a sick dancer. I'm sure he still is, but Chris Brown, oof.
Chris Brown's a loser. Like,
Absolute loser. I didn't even know he was doing this NFT project. All I heard was that he didn't sell it out at the end of it. So I don't even know what it was, but joke's on you, bud.
yeah, definitely.
Another
Kai,
take.
you got a tweet here. What did
Yeah.
you tweet out, and what are we looking at?
Well, we've talked a little bit that we've been focusing on our community a lot. And the community has just been growing and just like doing some really cool stuff over the last little while. And so all I tweeted out was building community is so damn hard, but holy shit, it's worth it. And we're seeing it all come into fruition at the moment. We've just been focused so much down in the Discord and just trying to cultivate a community, get feedback, and just like, see where this all goes. And so click on the Paulina question there. So a couple of people, it's got a lot of engagement on Twitter, and just a few people asked, what are your favorite strategies to build out community? And my answer was, it's all about doing the non-scalable things first. So one-on-one calls, group calls, giving value in Discord, communicating with people in Discord. Shout out to Jay. He's been doing one-on-one calls for a long time with people in our Discord. We've been doing group calls every week. And then once you're doing those things, I find it's about finding a common goal or a mission and building something together with the community. Amazing things happen when people build together. And that's really what we're seeing right now with our community. And it's really, really cool to see and watch sort of flourish as it's been going over the last, months inside of this Discord. But it's those non-scalable things. We always have people come in and say, oh, I'm getting like, 100 people into my Discord per day or per week. Like, how can I grow that? And it's like, I want to grow my community. It's like, that's not a community, man. That's an audience. And good luck with getting 100 people in your Discord a day. That sounds awful. And I'm not going to lie.
For everybody involved, for the users,
for
terrible.
Everybody. There's no way that anyone is going to get anything done in that Discord. There's no way it's going to ever do anything good for you. Unless you're just trying to scam everyone on selling some quick NFT project, but that is not a community. That is an audience. And if you're going to do that, don't do it in Discord. Do that on Twitter. Like, why would you want 100 people per day in your Discord? That's not what Discord is meant for. Go build an audience like that on Twitter. At least you can get in front of them and like get some engagement, but you're not going to, that's useless in Discord. So it's all about, these non-scalable things to actually get the community activated and engaged. And just one thing I want to recommend is we are helping people on a weekly basis. Jay and Tim from the community are sort of running what's called the sandbox sessions. This is it's basically a group call inside of our Discord. It's Thursdays at what time, Jay?
4 p.m. Eastern.
4 p.m. Eastern. And basically what they do is anyone in the community can ask to be a part of these sandbox sessions. And basically all we're doing is the group comes in, we take an idea of yours, whether you're building an NFT project, you're starting a community, you're launching a DAO, whatever. And we just basically break down your idea and we do a brainstorm together. There's a bunch of us in there that are all exploring and learning and have different experiences, whether that's Web 2 or Web 3. And we will help you sort of break down your idea and brainstorm a strategy, get a strategy in place. And it's just really cool. And so this week, this is going to go out after this podcast is gonna be live after the one we're doing this week, but it's all about building community in Discord. Best way to create onboarding experiences, etc. Last week we did, actually, we won't even say it, but we did something that we're building in our DAO, but we're going to hold off on saying what that is. But we did a strategy session on that. So that was cool. But if you've got ideas, I guess reach out to Jay, reach out to Tim Jeffries inside of our Discord, and we'll run a sandbox session for you.
Yeah, I think that this is this connects to the why build community, right? I think a lot of people talk community, but you need to really think about why you're building community first. And why are you building community? For a couple of reasons. One, because communities make things happen faster. They make things stronger because they have instant feedback. They have the ability you're not working alone anymore, which is really tough with a lot of startups and a lot of founders. You're on your own. You don't have an advisory board. You don't have, the backing of, some big VC company. Maybe you do, great. But even if you do, there's so much value in the opportunity to ask somebody, hey, can you take a look at this? Can you give me some feedback? And that's really what the sandbox session is all about. The sandbox session is your opportunity to come into our Discord, and you'll get probably somewhere between 10 to 20 super smart, wide variety of people. You'll get devs, you'll get marketers, you'll get leaders of strategy, you'll get Web2 people, you'll get Web3 people, all in there listening to your idea and then bouncing around and giving you feedback. And even more so, probably sharing things that they think you should, blind spots, things you're missing, tools that you should be using that maybe you haven't thought about, other things that they've seen that are similar that you could model after, because we all know there's no playbooks in Web3 yet. So yeah, huge, huge value to building a community is things like these sandbox sessions.
You also get people from all over the world. So you're going to have some Canadians in there. You're going to have some Europeans in there, maybe depending on the time. I think that time works. You're definitely going to have an Aussie up in there. And, he usually leads it, which is great because you get to hear the Aussie accent for a little bit. So it's fun, and I feel like whenever an Aussie runs anything, it's just more fun,
It's more fun.
But also you get perspectives from people in different countries, which I think is very useful.
Yeah. I
think what I meant to say.
And you can't, again, just coming back to Kyle's initial tweet here, anybody who is building in Web3, really take the time to build community. Don't just build an audience. I'm actually writing a course right now on how to build community. And a big topic within that course is the difference between audience versus community. And to build a strong community, like he said, Kyle said, you got to do the non-scalable things first. And it might feel like, well, where's the revenue and why am I doing this? But I'll tell you, if you do it, the gains are 100x what you put into it. So take that extra time and give free, give things. That's really what you got to do. If you give to the community will give back to you 10 times.
Yeah. Give. NFT project of the month. This was NFT Jay's choice
of the month.
What do you got for us?
Rare pizzas, people. I'm going to guess most of you have not heard of this NFT project because it does not have a ton of hype or a ton of play behind it. But
their image is epic. I don't know if this is their NFT or not, but their image is amazing. It's a rocket ship with a pizza driving it, and he's got sunglasses on, and it's awesome.
At NFT NYC, I met. I was walking through. Let me take you back. I'm walking through the halls of NFT NYC, and I see this guy, and he's got a vest on with pins of all different NFTs on it. As happened a lot at NFT NYC, there was a lot of showing off of your NFTs and the projects that you support through merch, t-shirts, hats, and a lot of pins and stickers. And so I see this guy, and we strike up a conversation. Amazing part about Web3 is you can literally talk to anybody. It's so friendliest space there is in terms of business and building. And we start talking. He tells me his name is Snacks. Boom, winner right away. I'm like, you're dope, man. Your name is Snacks. And he tells me he's the founder of Pizza DAO. And I'm like, okay, what's Pizza DAO? He said, well, okay, Pizza DAO is started as an NFT project. They launched an NFT called Rare Pizzas. And what they did was they took the money from that NFT mint and from secondary sales, and they put it into Pizza DAO. And then what Pizza DAO does is Pizza DAO takes that money and they contact mom and pop pizza shops around the world. I think they have about 70 pizza shops they've worked with so far. So these aren't franchises. These aren't your Domino's or your Pizza. These are your small mom and pop pizza shops who probably have a tough time with a lot of, business things. And so they contact those pizza shops and they do two things. First, they contact them and they say, hey, I want to buy $500 worth of pizza. And there's only one catch. I don't actually want that pizza. I want you to donate it to whoever you want. So you want to donate to a local hospital. You want to donate it to a local kids soccer team. You want to donate it to a local church or community group, whoever you want to donate it to, you choose. So right away, they're giving that pizza shop an opportunity to pass it on, pay it forward giving, right? Amazing. And then what they say is, okay, now after we do this, what we also want to do is we want to involve you in Pizza DAO, where you can join our community And as part of our community, we offer support in managing your pizza shop. So managing the tech side of your pizza shop, because Web3, all of these guys are tech guys. And they understand point of sale systems. They understand inventory management. They understand all these things. And so they offer that support to the pizza shop, really with the goal of keeping these mom and pop pizza shops open. So just such a unique, cool project. Shout out Snacks and Pizza DAO. You guys are doing it right.
Wow, that's actually, when you first showed me rare pizzas, I was like, what is this? But actually, that's a lot cooler than that. I'm going to Toronto right after we get off this, and I have a pizza dinner tonight with two buddies, and I'm hoping that I get there and they are one of these mom and pop shops. My buddy says it's the greatest pizza place in Toronto. I don't know the name of it, otherwise I'd shout it out, but maybe I'm going to get a free pizza. We'll see.
Well, that's a wrap. What a week. Thanks everybody for listening in. As always, if you get a chance, would greatly appreciate you giving us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. I hope you give us a 5-star, but even if you don't, we would love your feedback. And really, giving us a review is not just great for us, it is great for Web3, because we need more people to learn and understand Web3. We got about 7.7 billion people to onboard to Web3.
I heard there's 8 billion people now in total.
8 billion people. So I'm trying to I'm taking
gotcha.
8 minus I don't know. Yeah, something like that. We got billions to onboard to Web3, and our podcast is a great starting point, we believe. So if you give us a review and rate us high, then we will show up higher and we will get more people into Web3, which will benefit the whole ecosystem.
We also just hit our highest day of downloads in our history yesterday. And this has been our biggest week ever on Web3 Academy podcast. And we're in the deep, dark era of a bear market, and we are just growing and growing and growing. And so shout out to all you listeners. You guys are kick ass. And keep rating us, maybe share it, do whatever you can, but let's help us grow and grow through this bear market. And let's come out stronger on the other side. Thank you, community and listeners.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Keep smiling, share your gratitude. Lots of love.
Thank you for listening to Web3 Academy. We hope this helps you along your Web3 journey. And if it does, please share this episode and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. By the way, if you've yet to join the Discord community, you are missing out. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we learn, where we ask questions, where we network. You want to be in there. The link to join is in the description below. And finally, a quick disclaimer. Nothing in this podcast was financial advice. Crypto and Web3 can be risky. You can literally lose it all. In fact, if you invest on account of what we say, you probably will lose it all. So don't do that. In all honesty, the point of this podcast is to remove the noise of markets and price and focus on utility and implementation anyway. So you should not take any of this as financial advice. Thank you, friends, and see you in the next one.